While China may be copying several Russian weaponries, Russia's carrier-killer missiles may be stealing a page from China's strategy. This carrier-killer is the best one Russia has invented. Make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out more about it. Hey guys, welcome to another amazing video from Aviation News. Today in this video, we'll be talking about Russia's all-new carrier-killer and does it have the potential to threaten other countries. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon to make sure you never miss any updates or videos from us. Now come, let's take a close look. First, China developed carrier-killer ballistic missiles with a long range. Russia's Iskander ballistic missile system might now serve the same purpose. According to Russian media, Russia carried out 2 simulated electronic deployments of the 9K-720 Iskander-M on ships in the Black Sea in late July and early August. The Russian Defense Policy site says, an electronic launch presumably indicates a field battle simulation where the missile unit organizes and performs all protocols for a real-world deployment without firing a live missile. But which missile was it that Russia pretended to launch? The Iskander is a road-based mobile launch system that can fire multiple versions of ballistic and cruise missiles. It was developed in the 1970s as an alternative to the Scud. The Iskander-M is a single-stage ballistic missile with a range of 500 kilometers and a conventional or nuclear warhead. The Russia Beyond News site, on the other hand, reveals how the Iskander system can launch anti-ship variants of the 500-kilometer range R-500 caliber cruise missiles. These missiles have been returned to target second- and third-class destroyers, basically ships that can carry Tomahawk missiles and portions of the Aegis ballistic missile defense system, says Russia Beyond. Aside from the USS Ticonderoga, ships of this class serve as the primary launch pads for Washington's precise guided prompt global strikes. The anti-ship missiles may reach speeds of 2,000 kilometers per hour as they approach their targets. They also skirt above the ocean at a height of only 5 to 10 meters or 16 to 33 feet, make it virtually impossible to hit with any type of sea-based anti-missile defense system. The payload of the missile varies between 200 and 500 kilograms or 441 to 1,102 pounds. The lighter ones are usually meant for destroyers, while the bulkier ones are for cruisers. There's no getting away from these assassins, Russia Beyond proclaims emphatically. In fact, missiles or point defense cannons can shoot down a missile traveling slower than Mach 2. However, the ramifications of the Russian tests and their coverage in the Russian media are obvious. Russia is indicating that ballistic missiles, or at the very least ballistic missile launchers, can be used as anti-ship weapons. If any of this sounds familiar, it's because it is. While China may be copying several Russian weapons, Russia may be borrowing a lead from China's carrier-killer missiles, which are DF-26 intermediate-range ballistic missiles that have been upgraded. Though the DF-26 has the U.S. Navy concerned about the protection of its aircraft carriers, ship-killing ballistic missiles are still an unproven weapon, with concerns about their capacity to hit long-range moving targets like ships. However, the DF-26 has a range of 2,500 miles, which is significantly more than a caliber or an Iskander-M. In limited areas like the Baltic or Black Seas, a 300-mile missile may be an effective coastal defense weapon, allowing Russia to keep NATO ships from approaching too close to its land. It isn't, however, a long-range access-deny weapon. The obvious question is, if Russia can fire short-range anti-ship cruise missiles using ballistic missile launchers, why can't China do the same with long-range ballistic missiles? One major stumbling issue would be whether these long-range anti-ship missiles would violate U.S.-Russian arms control treaties because they might potentially carry nuclear bombs. Nonetheless, it would not be remarkable if Russia produced its own carrier-killer ballistic missiles in the future. Also, these days, stealth is everything. Defense specialists are currently discussing the F-35, F-22s, and Su-57. However, Russia's stealth drone, the S-70, must be included in this discussion as well. Here's what we know about this UAV right now. The stealth capabilities of Russia's S-70 Okhotnik B drone have apparently been significantly improved. The Okhotnik B shares many similarities with a similarly feature-oriented Su-57 multi-role aircraft, which is often regarded as a pillar of a future technologically enhanced Russian aerospace forces by the Russian defense industry and military authorities. With the Unmanned Combat Air Vehicle, or UCAV, still in development and presumably a long way from serial production, the Okhotnik stealth-based capabilities could signal that its development remains flexible. The majority of what foreign observers know about the S-70 is based on a mostly managed trickle of information about the project coming from outside Russia. The Okhotnik B, also known as the Hunter's B in English, is a flying-wing drone that can supposedly travel at speeds of up to 1,000 kilometers per hour, according to Russian official media. The S-70's equipment isn't clear. Nonetheless, it appears that the drone has internal weapons bays to carry its armament payload. While the drone's earliest prototypes were powered by a solitary SATURN AI-41F1 engine, outsider observers noticed that the drone's exposed engine exhaust without a shroud would naturally hinder its capacity to remain as quiet as desired. The drone's visible radar and camera arrays have been seen in public recordings, but little is known about the specific nature of these devices. The S-70 Okhotnik-B was purportedly developed after the Sukhoi aircraft company was awarded a contract by the Russian Defense Ministry to produce a heavy attack drone that would compete with similar American drones being developed at the time by Lockheed Martin and Boeing. The S-70's development has been closely linked to that of the fifth-generation Su-57 multi-role aircraft, with which it shares a considerable number of components. Its first flight was widely publicized in August 2019. Experts like Joseph Trevithick and Michael Kaufman have suggested that the Okhotnik-B is designed to act as a faithful wingman to the Su-57 by connecting to advanced computing capabilities allegedly installed in the Su-57 as part of its original purpose as a network-centric fifth-generation aircraft. Su-57s from Russia, on the other hand, are unlikely to have reached such capacity yet. Russia unveiled the updated version of the S-70 with various visible improvements to increase its stealth characteristics, either to better fulfill its complementary function to the Su-57 or simply to reduce its radar signature. The Okhotnik-B, which was unveiled in December 2021 at the Novosibirsk Aircraft Production Association, features a redesigned nozzle for the rear engine exhaust that prioritizes stealth over all else. Other exterior features of the drone, including antennas, exhaust vents, and air inlets, were streamlined or deleted. Deputy Russian Minister of Defense Alexei Kivaruchko claimed during his visit to Novosibirsk plant that the S-70 can operate independently and in groups, implying that it may serve as a faithful wingman for the Su-57. Outside observers have raised concerns regarding the S-70 UCAV's future manufacturing and delivery, since it appears to be nearing the end of its development. Deliveries of the Okhotnik-B are expected to begin in 2024, according to Yuri Selyusar, the general director of Sukhoi's state-owned parent firm, United Aircraft Corporation, during a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in August 2020. While the official time frame is still 2 years away, there's no assurance that it'll be met, since the Okhotnik-B is just as vulnerable as any other new system to being caught up in Russia's stop-and-go defense procurement and development. The technical know-how required to address difficulties with the S-70 stealth and other capabilities looks to be a non-issue for Russia's defense sector. The real test will be whether the UCAV can be mass-produced at a reasonable cost and properly incorporated into the Russian aerospace forces alongside other next-generation systems. Do you think Russia can develop a more advanced version of its current carrier killers? Let's know in the comment section. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Aviation News, for more such exciting aviation content. See you in the next video.